let's get to it. Here we go. Quick behind the scene note. I want y'all to know this is like take 3. It's like take 3, man. It's cool. We about to get to it. Oh man. It's time for the after hour after the after hour. Welcome to Kush Equilibrium. I am your always smoking host. Oops, great. Per the normal. For the usual. Happy to see if you're looking at my ugly face, that means you made it home under not quite legal circumstances. Because, you know, we all be going through a little something to go kick it. Yeah, you know, that ride home don't always. You know. But, hey, you made it home. You good. Got the show on. Hope you got something lined up for the evening, for the late night, early morning special type situation. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can throw me on in the background. Do y'all thing. But I appreciate y'all nonetheless. I know you came back to the house with a little something left in that bottle. Probably rolling you up a little something. It's late night. It's cool. That's what we do. I'm pouring up. Hold on. I'm pouring up. I'm getting myself. I don't always be all the way together. Oh, we gonna have to talk about the Jay-Z of it all today. The Jay-Z of it all. Before we get to that, you see the bottom of the screen? Please. And it's for the freeski. Help me take care of the YouTube police. Just like how you know what I'm saying? You about to have your little vibe. I know y'all look. We know what grown people do after the after hour. You ain't drink all that liquor. Smoke all that bud. But nothing. You know what I'm saying? So why you know what I'm saying, got that vibe going? You don't want the boys. You don't want 12 rolling up at your door knocking and trying to see what's going on. Same thing. When you hit them likes, comments, subscriptions, all that good things, keep YouTube off my back. Look like I know what I'm doing. At least make it look like I know what I'm doing. But on to the topic at hand. One Jigga Man. Jay-Z. He been on the fire lately because of his, we'll call them aged opinions. Like they kind of, well, I originally for a while was thinking these were just opinions of a man, you know, in his later stages of life. But maybe we wasn't looking at that quite right. But before we go too far, got something to unbox. I got something to unbox. Our latest record has arrived. I said I'm not gonna open it. I'm gonna wait till I'm on here with the folks. I'm gonna open it real quick. Show y'all our latest record to go on the wall, and then we're gonna get to the business of it. This is in fact also our first double. It's not a single record, it's a double. We could throw that down there. We have one Don Toliver is going up on the wall. See, I can see what it look like. Not major. I can't stop playing it. I'm gonna be editing this whole video. Listen to Don Toliver. But I just want y'all to see the record is here. We do have our official third record on the wall. The new background is around here somewhere too. I'll get that up there. But let's get to the business at hand. Cue the side, eh?
I want to bring up another clip real quick here. And this one, this is actually from Dwan B's live stream this week. And so Dwan B.
Shout out to the company, man. For those who don't know, I typically find something out of the company man's routine Wednesday Culture United stream. I like the varying opinions. I've yet to see anybody have this many opinions at once and manage them. Keep the cross talking down to a minimum. Everybody kind of, for the most part, at least get their opinions out, flush them out as best they can. But the topic here was Jay-Z. You know, he's recently been doing interviews. I think the last one was the New York Times. So let's get into it.
Incendiary live stream this week. He was pointing out how when Hov was talking, there's a lot of things that he was pointing out that feel like revisionist history. So let's take a look at this clip from Dwan B's conversation right here. I'm telling you, I'm getting better at this. I know I got
cheers.
Ready.
Let's get to it.
All right, here we go.
As you know, myself, I show up as myself, and writing that in the song is just like,
is it yourself or is it the people that you stole identities from? That's a valid question, because
I don't know how many of y'all actually know that Jay-Z is kind of, what's the word, amalgamation? It's kind of like a melting pot of a couple of different entities. I've known it for a little while. It never really bothered me up until recently. And I'm kind of conflicted because I don't know if, again, Jay-Z's opinions are just the opinions of someone who's older. You know what I'm saying? When you get older, your soul get tired. It can't tolerate what it used to. But let's check out what Dwan B put out there in the ether.
Jay-Z, Sean Carter was around in 1988, 89, 90. No one wanted him. It wasn't until after he successfully lifted Biggie's lyrics, Jaz-O's name and style, and Kane's way of dress that he became something. Jay-Z, we're not about to rewrite his history. Remember this, nobody wanted Jay-Z. Reasonable Doubt sold 30,000 copies. Back when you look at Doggy Style sold 1 million before it was even released. Reasonable Doubt came out in 96 when the real niggas was still alive and making music. Pac was still alive making music at the time. Biggie was still alive making music. When the OGs were around, there was no need for Jay-Z. Let's never forget that. People always want to go back and remix it and be like, yeah, man, I always knew that Jay-Z was going to be the shit. Yeah. Well, of course, Reasonable Doubt sounds good when you're revisiting it in 2001 and the number one rapper is Nelly and Chingy. Yeah.
What we thinking so far? I'm thinking I need to like this Bleezy because, man, what in the... Look, I bring this to y'all as we end our night together. This is how we ending our night. You know what I'm saying? We're going to talk a little music. We're going to look at a little bit of music. Going to talk a little ish and going about our night. Unless you got something, like I said, if you brought something home or you got something on the way, man, listen, just turn the volume, leave the show on, turn the volume down. Do your business. Ladies, you too, you might have a little, y'all need to get together and get do what y'all need to do too. You know what I'm saying? We ain't hating around here. But let's flesh this out a little bit. Is it a coinky dink, as they say? Is that the word them other people be using? What a coinky dink. Is it coincidence that Jay-Z get on when a lot of the cats outside really, rap started to turn into room temperature butter around that time, didn't it? Didn't hip hop turn into room temperature butter around that time? So if you're not, you know what I'm saying, 100% G, but you 70, you striking the proper tone and chords and whatnot for us to find you palatable. I mean, who wouldn't listen to Jay-Z over Chingy and Nelly and I'll take regular corn over cream corn. That's the way I'm looking at it at this point. Everything out there was cream corn, and I just don't like cream corn. I'm not a cream corn guy. But regular corn? I'll take a little regular corn. Yeah. Corn on the cob. Maybe Jay-Z would be, in that time, we should have been looking at Jay-Z as like corn on the cob. Not corny. No, we're not saying corny, but let's just flesh it out. We're going to flesh it out.
Reasonable Doubt sounds a hell of a lot better in 2001, 2002 than it did in 96.
Dwan, do you want to expound on anything or clarify? I just want to give people a sense of where you're coming from, because my initial reaction to that was, I actually felt like you've got a lot of bombastic language in there, but I think it's a pretty honest assessment, right? I mean, in 2000,
quick shout out to the company, man, for using the word bombastic. If you ain't never used it before, it's a fun word to use. I just ask that people properly use it in its intended context, and he definitely used it in its intended context. Let's go.
Right, but just generally speaking, it was Biggie, it was Nas, it was Pac, it was Snoop, it was Dre, it was Wu. Like, all those conversations were louder than Hove was in 96.
Think about this. Everybody he just named, you would take them 2 times and 3 times on Sunday over Jay-Z. I'm gonna have to explain my Jay-Z history. We're gonna do that in a minute, but I want to get through this a little bit.
Right, you get to 98, you get to 2001, and really Hove just blasts off after Hard Knock Life. Right, I'm not saying Hove didn't have hits. He had hits on what's that? Oh my God, what's the Martin movie I used to like? Yeah, that movie. Yeah, no, the other one. He was a police officer.
Oh yeah.
I can't.
He thinking of Blue Streak. Good movie. Good soundtrack.
I remember what it was. National Security. I don't know what it is. He had hit records. He had a lot of respect. His name was out there. Everyone knew him. But Reasonable Doubt got popular in 2000 where I was. I'm not going to say everybody else was wrong, where I was. Now, my roommate Sean in college, shout out to Sean P., my roommate in college, 1 second pause, loved Reasonable Doubt. Loved it. And he was the only one on our floor who was like championing it like it was the best thing ever. And in the long tail of history, he was actually correct. But Dwan, you want to add anything? You want to color anything? And then open floor to response to what Dwan just said.
Yeah, you can call it hate, but look, I'm just observant. You know what I mean? The people had a chance to decide in 96, and the people chose not Jay-Z. We got to remember that. Keem in 91, 92 was trying to get Jay-Z a deal. No one did. No, that's just history. It's like,
I didn't know that part.
You want to feel about it.
I didn't know that part at all.
Jay-Z's older than Nas. Like Jay-Z didn't mature until 444. That nigga was like 90 years old when he finally wrote a mature album. Going back to the previous topic, you know what I mean? He was damn near 40 talking about 30's a new 20, and maturity means getting a better car and a better woman, not taking care of your family, not having any kind of value.
he definitely did push the, what was the 40s the new 40 new 30 or 30s the new 20, 30s the new 20. I just thought it at the time. I just assumed it was some catchy shit. We're talking about that round about that 96, 98 time frame. So by that math, I was 12. I was 12 years old in 96, 14 and 98. Born in 84. Shout out to my Aquarius gang. You know? So at 12 to 14 years old, you not having in-depth thoughts about the overall makeup characteristically of an artist. Do it sound good? I bow my head to it. Like, you not over, unless you just at that point early in life, you're really deep into music like that. You're not taking deep dives and thinking like that's how Lil Wayne got by during that time. What, man? You know, that's a whole separate video. But thinking about the way he's framing it so far, and we're going to just let it rock out, and we'll come up with an opinion at the end. So 96, 98, that's right before the Bling Bling era. Bling Bling is the 2000s, 2001 on up. I don't even know if I want to call it exactly 2000. But off the top of my head, I don't know. But I just don't remember a real, like, defining Jay-Z moment or defining actual Jay-Z era in the late 90s. Like, for me, like, I'll let him finish off, and then I'll go into my whole history of it, so that way you can see where I'm looking at it from. You know what I'm saying?
And so even that song was a very immature way of growing up. I'm grown because I wear a suit. Okay, that's okay. You wear a suit, you know? But Jay-Z,
I feel like this is my part real quick, and I'm gonna let it play out for a good little minute. But I feel the need to say, because we're a late night show. Right? And if you got something lined up, and you don't want her to be your next baby mama, or you ain't searching for a new baby daddy, somebody make sure they break out some, you know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to be a friend. I want you to think of Oops as your friend. Think of OTG as your friend. This is my friend moment. Like, hey, I'm not saying don't. I'm just saying, let's not wake up the next day like, oh, fuck, I put no back. Okay, I did my part. Let's go.
when it comes to when it goes back to the early 90s, he's someone who was around and older than some of the guys that was making hits at that time, and he could not cut through. That happened. And then in 96, see, you know me, Justin, my study of music goes far beyond the record sales. I study what happened on the business end, also on the political end. 1996, you have the Telecommunications Act. So by the time 99 hits, you don't have, most of the independent radio markets in America are gone. You have Clear Channel, Sinclair Media. You have like 4 companies controlling all of the airwaves. And those 4, at the same time, you have all those record labels getting bought up, Def Jam, Island Def Jam. The late 90s was buy. So by the time you get to 03, what used to be 20, 30 labels is now 4. So it was very controlled and contrived by the time we got to the 2000s. And that,
I think I'm gonna make a separate video of, I guess you call them the indie labels, the small labels, whatever. I don't know what the proper technical term is. But those labels that we once had that made it a mission or a priority to push our music, to promote our music, to cultivate, more importantly, to cultivate. The cultivation happens over time. It's not instant. We need to include to cultivate. There's not enough cultivating going on right now, and that's why we're getting a lot of slop. We're getting a lot of slop. But I want to make a video of at least the ones that mattered, and either the artists, the artists that they had underneath them that reached a high plateau, or maybe classic albums that was under those labels that are no longer here, something to that effect. So we can probably get a better gauge of like, how do we quantify what we are really missing with all of those entities gone? There's a math to be done. I just gotta have the discipline to sit and do the math. But I think we'll all find that interesting. Like, damn, that song, that album, that dude, that chick, that's why we ain't, you know what I'm saying? Maybe it start to make a little more sense. Everybody using catchy words and all this other stuff, and then there's all this extra misinformation. I want us to be knowledgeable and really know what's going on. Let's get through the bullshit. I don't make my videos for clicks and views. I'll take them. I obviously need them. That's what this is about. But it's not my end all be all. I want us to be able to kick it, be cool, chill out. This is for the people who don't work their job, and you know what I'm saying, and found some time to go kick it, and they just unwinding like you had a full day. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna do that on the side. But we're gonna rock out some more with this for a minute, and then I can really give you my history, and y'all are all. I hope y'all all just go into the comments. It'll help me out. But go into the comments. What was the album that you started with Jay-Z with? Because that's part of my story. Is, man, that'll help shed some light on my viewpoints on Jay-Z. But it'll help give a gauge of where because we didn't all start A1 day one. We are not all A1 day one. Let's cut that shit the fuck out. Ain't nothing wrong with keeping it. We got to get back to keeping it a buck. When did you discover him? Okay, maybe you discovered him at a certain album, and then because of that album, it made you go back into the catalog, catch up, and then you started rocking with everything that came out thereafter. Or, you know what I'm saying? You know, rock with him at off or whatever. Put that in there too. But Dwayne got some things to say. Let's hear him out.
Is when that era right there is when Jay-Z blew up. Because I noticed it in real time. I was in high school and college during this time. And I was paying attention then because my world in the 90s, I'm teaching myself how to play the drums. I'm playing I'm a self-taught drummer. I'm a nerd because I've always studied. I've always just liked to do research on. If I hear a song, I'm gonna look up everything. You know what I mean? When I hear a song, I'm gonna look up things. And so I'm paying attention to Jay-Z in '98 when Hard Knock Life drops. I'm focusing on this stuff then, and I'm seeing that. And when I remember '99, 2000 hit, I'm like, man, where's X-Clan? Like, when is it these great rap? I'm hearing the change happen right in front of me. Out of nowhere, the quality of rap really started to take a dive in the 2000s and the bling era, the hoes and clothes era, the shiny suit era. Just what rap was in '94 is not what it was in 2004. And Jay-Z by this time is 15.
I couldn't do it.
He's more than 10 years in the game, competing with artists who are second and third year in the game. So he's far beyond the newer artists of the 2000s. But when it came to his class, he didn't cut through. And people can go back and rewrite it all they want now, but you cannot rewrite what happened before 1997. When DMX came out, even when DMX came out, okay, yeah, sit to the side, Hov. No matter who, it was always like he was always getting pushed to the side. And so now,
let's talk about this DMX part because I'm familiar with this. Now, this is a section I'm familiar with. It's been speculated, insinuated, out of DMX mouth outright said, once Jay-Z got that power or got enough juice up under him, first thing he did was move DMX about the way. If you don't know, DMX took a lot of the air out of the hip hop room. It was a big personality, but his bars, his delivery, it matched. DMX was the nigga that every woman wanted to be with, who she thought about at night, and the nigga that every other nigga wanted to kick it with. Or if he was a buster and didn't want to be a buster, he was your ideal person to be. When they say represent culture, a reflection of your environment, DMX. Nothing else to be said. He was one of the few when he was around. It don't look like the industry got a chance to like wash him up. Like that raw, that gritty, that whatever, y'all know what I'm saying, that authentic street representative. I can't come up with I feel like I'm not doing DMX. I feel like I'm doing him a disservice trying to describe him. He was the guy. I wish DMX had the demons that he had. Tell you, a lot of people that's outside, that's been outside, so-called running things, and a lot of these goofies would have a hard time existing if DMX was still around. What? This is one of the examples that make me buy into Dwan B's way of thinking when it comes to Jay-Z. Because it was kind of like, in public, you trying to make it sound like, you know, DMX a priority, you gonna do this, that, and the third for me, but you know what I'm saying, behind closed doors, all these whispers and rumors and projects getting delayed by DMX, and it ain't because he ain't got it ready. You know what I'm saying? That might be the biggest thing to me that makes me buy into that, of what Dwan B saying. Also, he didn't mention it, but what a lot of people don't know. I mean, I only know because I watched cause I'm cool watching hip hop documentaries, whatever. Because I just want to, if you could show me something I ain't seen before, I'm interested. I didn't know he struggled as much as he did with Fat Joe and them Terror Squad boys. I didn't know that was that much of a pain to him. Like we got to keep in mind too. And I'm speaking to somebody that, I'm not from New York. Look, I'm not a New York cat. So maybe that's why I'm so delayed in knowing this. But one thing that was always made clear is like in New York, there's like extra, like, you ever play Mortal Kombat? It's like tiers. You get to the final boss. That's like the New York hip hop scene. Well, what's what it was then. Like you had to earn your mic. You gotta stand out there and that mic in your hand, spitting bars. You gotta earn it. You don't just get to just. It was almost like it was a thing of beauty. I'll put it that way. But and I can't admit I knew more. I can't say no. I can't say more. I knew of Fat Joe sooner than I knew of Jay-Z. Let me fast forward now. I listen to drastically more Jay-Z cuts. Drastically more. I can't tell you the last time I played a Fat Joe. But at that time, Fat Joe, Pun. Let's get it.
Now that he's had this long run, now that, you know, the market, he got with Lior and he's with the big wigs, and Beyonce made him crossover famous. I remember Beyonce is who made him crossover famous. He wasn't crossover famous before her. And you get this whole thing, they put them next to the president. Now it's a new story as if Jay-Z's this icon god that's always been that way. But we cannot forget, he's older than most of the niggas that was having hits in the early 90s and he couldn't cut through. That's just what happened.
I don't know you that well, but I do know that there's people that like have a...
Ransom has a rebuttal. Yes, that Ransom that unwilling to listen to the ultra smart people at TDE. Grown man can do whatever he wants. I just find it hard to be like, think of the way we look at TDE right. They find perfect ways to launch. They are the beacon of hip hop right now. Literally. And the fact that I always felt kind of like, again, grown man can do what he wants to. However, some type of way, when like, are you not just chill and just go with the plan? I get it. You felt like you was ready to take that jumper. Remember back in the day, we count down 3, 2, 1, shoot the shot. You ready? He felt like he was ready. TDE over there, like, we got a play we can run. To where instead of potentially taking a contested 3 that we need, go run this play, catch you off after the screen while you wide open, then you can shoot it. And for him to be like, no, hey, I don't see it. All right. I mean, grown man. When was the last time TDE missed? You know what I'm saying? When was the last time TDE missed? Let's get to it.
High intelligence in a certain category, and because you have such a wide, vast knowledge about it, you're able to, you know, manipulate points that aren't like necessarily there. And it is hate. If I'm gonna keep it a stack, it is hate. It's like Hove's career has gone how a lot of legends' careers gone, which is you drop your first album. Your first album, it isn't the craziest thing ever, and you build and you go up. And to compare Hove's first album to people's second and third album sales is hate. To say that
I compared this
like
first album sales. I compared
but we're talking,
but that's kind of
still might be the most popular human being.
This that goofy shit I be talking about. I'm about to get mad at all of it, man. 1 minute. 1 minute. We say it's not hip hop. It's not hip hop to talk about numbers. We don't care about numbers. We're about culture. We're about all these other important things, right? Cool. Bet. Here we are. Here we are. Having a hip hop conversation. Talking about numbers. This is one of the problems. We don't know what core values we do and do not have. Yes, I said we. I get to count myself as we because I'm not a passive fan. I'm not just streaming music for free. I actually have YouTube Premium, which gets me YouTube Music. I pay for that shit. And they just sent me a notice that it's going up again. And I'm still playing it. I also buy vinyls. If your music is nice enough at $35 to $40, not included with some of this, we'll say include shipping. We'll say include shipping. You know what I'm saying? I intend to hit a show or two. If it's something I really can, if the time meets my desire to go. Which is going to tie into the music we're going to listen to later. So remember I said that. I'm not a passive fan. Those of us who actually spend, in some cases, not always expendable income, but sometimes if it's good enough, we tap into that income that's not quite expendable. I'm geeked about this Don Toliver album. Shit hit. But I'm not nope.
To ever walk the face of the earth. So that's like a different comparison. But like Outkast's first album, they didn't sell crazy. Nas' first album, they didn't sell crazy. So it's like it's hate to compare Aquemini to Reasonable Doubt. It's not a fair comparison. It's like me comparing Black Album to somebody else's first album. Like it's not a fair comparison, and it's hate. And it's one of them things where it's like I don't like where we at with the whole thing because it's like we really do be quick to tear down our legend.
Before you get to that. He missing the point. He's missing the point. There was 2 points made. Point one being Jay-Z is not completely of himself. He's not as genuine as many may think. If I could find the documentary, I'll pin it in the description, a link to it to watch. But Jay-Z was literally smacking his head against a glass ceiling with Terror Squad. All this other stuff Dwan B talking about, I can't confirm or deny. I don't know that part. I do know within the city of New York, Terror Squad was here and Jay-Z was fucking down here for a number of years. Once he got into his Mafia Don, whatever bag. Sound like somebody else, don't it? You don't sound like somebody else? That don't sound like no mob ties. We'll talk about it. Let's go.
I ain't trying to get too deep on it, but it's like, okay, he wasn't the hottest thing when he first hit the scene, but he grew and he built and he did his career the way he did it, and he became arguably the greatest rapper of all time.
Yeah, I know. I'll be smoking. We got a second point. See, yeah, I forgot it. I was supposed to say it with the point one. a point he's missing clearly, but I think as I watched the show, because I watched it throughout, and then I went back and watched like different segments out of order. I think another point Dwan Beat was really trying to make that they kind of, I don't know if they just dismissed it, glossed over it on purpose. But how come after Jay-Z makes some subtle changes to his imaging, I'll say imaging, later down, years later after, during that time, a whole culture change. We were entering, right as we were entering the watered down bling bling era. We had certain ones that hit. Shout out to T.I. Shout out to T.I. Killer Mike. Just to name a couple. It was like perfect. It was kind of, if you think about it, it was kind of like perfect timing. Nobody else right now was doing real. Everybody else is doing, look what I got, look who I'm hitting, look what I drive, look where I live. We really in our braggadocious to the max type. Don't get me wrong, I like braggadocious music. I'm just, it can't be just that's it though. So if you look at what Dwan B is saying, you took something that was more built to match up with the 90s was it. The 90s was it. So he packaged up 90s flavor and released it in the 2000s when it was, you know what I'm saying? Kind of boo-boo. Kind of boo-boo. Kind of boo-boo.
There is nobody that will take a list and not put Hov as arguably, or in that top 5 as the greatest rapper of all time, and to try to discredit that because of things that aren't actually things, because people aren't going to know the history or do the research. It is hate, and like El said, it is irrelevant. Like the points that you're making, like they are kind of irrelevant to like. The only thing I really agree with you on is that he did take niggas swag. I do agree with that because I know that Hov got a lot of his.
They literally saying right now the truth is irrelevant. That sound hella MAGA-y, Drakey, Trumpy. Them the type of people that like to ignore information, details, facts. It's like, you're right, but it don't really matter though. What do you mean? It's the point of the conversation. To get the facts out. I said some facts and you let out some opinions. My facts win.
Style from some of his, counterparts and stuff like that when he was trying to figure it out. 1000% I agree with that. But it's a lot of artists I can say that about that does that. And it's like, that still to me doesn't discredit the discography and the work and the pen and the records and the impact and the trendsetter he was. You want to talk about following, maybe he started off a follower, but the nigga was a trendsetter. Like what Hov would say things, it stuck. And our community moved.
Interruption. Hov was not a trendsetter. Motherfucker was not fucking with S. Carters. Them motherfuckers was not hitting. Now, Rockaware, I think it had more to do with Dame. I'm going to give Dame more credit on Rockaware than him. I'll say this. If we could rock out, because we almost over. We can get to the music. This might be a little controversial. I don't know. Sean P. Diddy, get your baby oil combs. Was more of a cultural impact than Jay-Z. Do with that what you may. But for us as a people, the quickest way to influence us culturally is style. Clothes. That's what made them call them. Remember all them dope clotheslines we had? He had cats out here in Sean John. We was out here wearing clothes with this nigga name on. He was out here, peep this. When I got married, we was ghetto with it. We was ghetto with it. We ain't had no way. We went downtown, did our little thing, went out there, had a ball, went home with the liquor, and then we got to the business. But check this though. I had on bought a brand new pair of all white crispy forces, because you know what I'm saying, clean. With a Sean John outfit. And the jeans with the polo daddy, like with the clean. She went and got her the apple bottom joint. You know what I'm saying? Outfit with the wig 9, and she I forgot what shoes she had. I forgot what shoes she had. I want to say she had on some shades or some shit, but excuse me. Impact. Like, I bought this dude clothes. You know how influential you gotta be for Nick to change the drawers a grown man wears? Sean John drawers. I know what drawers is. Sean John drawers. Change the man drawers like change the man church.
In that beat, and we try to like act like either that wasn't a thing or like we shouldn't have did that. And I don't know. I'm not on board with that.
Brittany Danielle 808. Dwan basically said Jay is the Drake of his era.
Yes. We don't get Drake without Jay.
Got to it quick. Got to it quick. What should we do? Should we talk about it or should we hear him out? I mean, it's only a couple minutes left. We're going to hear him out and then we're going to talk about this because we got to the piznoint. We got to the piznoint.
And we try to like act like either that wasn't a thing or like we shouldn't have did that. And I don't know. I'm not on board with that.
Brittany Danielle 808. Dwan basically said Jay is the Drake of his era.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for a reason to use that Undertaker bell. You feel me? We're gonna hear him out. We're gonna hear him out. And then we're gonna talk. That's a hell of a line. what they say. That's a bar. That's a bar. I'll be hating motherfuckers be saying that shit. It's whatever. It's whatever. We all got catchphrases for our shows. Fuck it. Let's hear them out. Let's hear them out. Let's hear them out. We gonna talk about it. We gonna talk about it.
Yes. We don't get Drake without Jay.
Now that
I mean, a lot of people are making that comparison. People are making that comparison.
Now that ain't the same thing, though.
When hip hop accepted the biting of styles, it opened the door for everybody to bite.
Give him that motherfucker back. When you accept the biting of styles, you open the door for everybody. He should have said Pandora's box. Why? Should have said Pandora's box. That's exactly what it was. Pandora's box. Matter of fact, I need to write that. I'm gonna try to store it to memory. But if y'all gonna know if I remembered it right. Because y'all gonna know what the title is. But it should be Hip Hop's Pandora's Box. I feel like I'm gonna forget that. But that's cool. Let's hear him out.
I never took Jay-Z as biting styles, at least from the quotes. I felt like he was always giving reverence to different people. You think it was? I mean, look, I understand it. If you added the Keem thing, you had the Jazzo thing, you had the Blueprint thing, then the Black Album, different picture forms, right? I understand that. But in the moment, in real time.
For those who don't know, those album titles were stolen by separate entities. Go look that up. Or the link to this video is going to be in the description. You can watch this part to hear all that out. You're going to go about midway through the video. But yeah, definitely check it out. But yeah, he did a lot of reappropriating. And these are things that we don't ever bring up about Jay-Z. But we're going to get to the Drake of it all too, though. We got to talk about that.
It's not like we didn't know. We didn't know. It's not like we didn't know they were Biggie verses.
That's how I felt in real time. Like I'm drawn back on my 19-year-old thoughts.
Oh yeah, no. I understand what you're saying. I'm not saying that you didn't feel that way. I'm just saying for me was like I wasn't distracted by that, and not to say that, I just felt like everybody knew this stuff, and because everyone knew it, is it theft? Like if I go and steal, the dome off City Hall, and I take it to my house, and I say, hey, look at the dome. I got the dome of the City Hall in my crib.
That's extreme. So I'm going to let this rock out, so I'm going to get to it quick. I don't like his example, for one. Two, knowing something doesn't make it any less egregious. Some of us knew Drake wasn't writing all that shit. But sweep, we swept it up under the rug. He wrote some of it. like, you see what I'm saying?
Everyone knows it's the dome to City Hall. Everybody looks at it in the skyline all the time. Is it still theft if everybody knows? Like, I don't know. Maybe it is. I mean, maybe that's the argument on the other side, because if I had the dome to City Hall at my house, everybody would know I stole it because there's no other reason for it to be there. So I guess maybe I see where you're coming from.
Yeah, I think the stealing is a bit of a stretch, but it's fair for hip hop because you could definitely make the argument of you get more points for not stealing. That can't really, I mean, that has to be true, right? Like it's better where you just came up with something this amazing it had no reference to other people, but I think the references to and from other people is part of what makes it great. So I think it's sometimes it's a catch-22. Be a real nigga, but you got to do some fake shit first. Create something amazing that reminds.
Be a real nigga, but do some fake nigga shit first. When I first heard her say this, right, I was disappointed a little bit because, I mean, this is a woman with a brilliant brain. Brilliant brain. She finds a way to even challenge the truth. She can find pushback in some form or fashion. And even when it be like, I'd be looking like, you know, this nigga telling the truth, or you fighting this for no reason. She finds at least a hair of plausibility. She does. Go back. Hold on 1 second. A little bit.
Just came up with something this amazing and it had no reference to other people. Yeah, I think the stealing is a bit of a stretch, but it's fair for hip hop because you could definitely make the argument of you get more points for not stealing. That can't really. I mean, that has to be true, right? Like it's better where you just came up with something this amazing and it had no reference to other people. But I think the references to and from other people is part of what makes it great. So I think it's.
Listen to her say that a second time, right? Well, it's not. Well, the second time during the video, but I've listened a couple times outside of what doing this. I want to make sure I'm right.
Yeah, I think the stealing is a bit of a stretch, but it's fair for hip hop because you could definitely make the argument of you get more points for not stealing. That can't really. I mean, that has to be true, right? Like it's better where you just came up with something this amazing and it had no reference to other people. But
so in this instance, right? Y'all tell me if I'm right or wrong. We're speaking on originality, the importance of originality. How much do we value originality within hip hop? Good question. Do we? In an honest conversation with each other, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all sticking around this long. You probably done finished up that situation. That's all right. Round 2. Don't listen to Kendrick. You can have round 2s. That's something I haven't heard many of us speak on. The value of originality. How do we weigh that? We list all our criterias. We take that total you or value you have for this person, and you rank it next to the next person after you go through it. Like, is that in that gumbo that we mix up and let simmer and decide the fate of where we hold these could be maybe MCs? Let this rock for a little bit more, then we're going to get to the music.
I think the references to and from other people is part of what makes it great. So I think it's sometimes it's a catch-22. Be a real nigga, but you got to do some fake shit first. create something
That's
amazing
unfortunate.
that reminds us of other times that we felt amazing, but make it from scratch, even though some of the other shit that we reference in making us feel amazing was not actually made from scratch.
So we went from do some original shit if you want to exist, to do some sucker shit first, and then accept it. I need another incense. Y'all. My homie was like, man, you probably too many incense, bro. Like, I'm always going to the head shop. Pause, because I don't want nobody to take that the wrong way. Some of y'all might not know what a head shop is, but it's a store where you go. I go and buy my incense and whatnot. But let's finish this out real quick.
It sometimes feel like an impossible request.
Like, for me, it wasn't just the other rappers. He suffered a lot from R&B. Baby girl, why you treat me like animal? That's an Eddie Murphy joke. I look at that's he literally sold that for Eddie Murphy Raw.
No, I know that.
That's not
reminds me.
stealing.
Yeah, so let me tell you why it's stealing. Because literally before Jay-Z, I mean, whether I talk about Smokey Robinson, Stevie Wonder, Skip Scarborough, Barry White, or whatever songwriter I think of, you can get inspired by somebody else say, but you cannot say it in their cadence and you cannot quote them directly. You got to remix it. And I look at it like stand-up comedy. As a stand-up comic, because the hardest thing to do as a songwriter, as any kind of a writer, is how do I say the most profound thing in the least amount of words in a simple way that can catch people and hook them? Writing the rest of that stuff is easy. Like, if I can go on stage tomorrow and take Corey Holcomb. Corey Holcomb has a whole bit about side babies. And he says it so perfectly. If I could just take that, I can create my own jokes. If I could take...
So if you take something, borrow. I don't want to say take. Borrow. You borrow something. Little piece of this song. Little piece of that song. Maybe a certain dance step. Whatever. Whatever you decide to take to cultivate your imagery. He dead ass though for Big Daddy Kane. Like that the suits properly tailored and no other big black nigga walking around in those suits. I would go as far as to say if it wasn't for Big Daddy Kane, that weirdo Steve Harvey wouldn't be having no kind of style at all. But we're gonna get to the music. Let's get to the music. Y'all wanna get some music? Let's get to the music. All right. Side beat me, man. Side beat me, man.
Jump in that. Some in that bitch. Jump in that. Jump in that fire.
This is a clip from a recent Baby Keem show. The link to it will be in the description. But I noticed something really interesting. I didn't know the diversity of a Baby Keem crowd. Cause you know, my idea is to hit one of these stops. I look. He is an artist. We had this kind of like we just talked about this. He is an artist that not only am I willing to invest money into, on top of already running the streams on my phone while I'm at work. Because I listen to the album at least once, a solid one time, if not twice, because it's not a long album at work. It's still in my rotation. Is the whole album in my rotation still currently? No. I'm down to 6 songs constantly. But I'll listen to the whole album. So yeah, I'll go as far as to, okay, on top of that investment, let me invest in tickets. You know what I'm saying? This is something I want the artists to understand, what they're asking of us in this here economy. Okay, if I already gave Baby Keem, I forgot how much that was. It was $35 to get decent seats, because I don't want to. Before I watch this, I didn't want to be way up and can't see nothing. I want to be close enough to actually immerse myself in the experience. But I knew for sure I didn't want to be on the floor. I didn't know, the goings on. I've heard things, and this is going to confirm something I heard. Look at this, because you don't know the environment. You don't know the environment of the concerts. I've never gone to a concert before, so I'm at a point in life where I'm like, yeah, I want to invest in that way into my music that I enjoy. But check this out. I didn't think of like my sessions and whatnot when I heard this song. And to be fair and to be clear, hey, vibe out to music how you gonna vibe out. This is me simply saying, this opened my eyes to how a song that might hit me one way, man, I rock to this. I just rock to this song different. I never picture, okay, I'm about to mosh out to it. No disrespect to them. They doing their thing, man. Enjoy. They spent in this economy to go to that show, man. Rock out. But this definitely opened my eyes to like, okay, we never know how music hit people. That's why I picked this as the music of the night. On top of that, it's a dope song. It's a dope song. We're gonna rock out. We gonna rock out to it. I'm about to get back to smoking and chilling, and we chilling. Hey, baby girl. Look, this is usually the part, because I know where I'm at in the video. It's usually the part where like the chicks sneak out. Somebody somewhere at this time, this spot in the video, peep this. If you the one that's sneaking out right now at this mark in the video, if you bold, don't do it. Don't mess up your situation. You bold though. Go in the comments. This is how I mark where people be in the video at. Just type I snuck out. That's it. No more, no less. I ain't asking no question. We understand each other. Sneaky ass. Clean get out too, didn't you? Ooh. All right, let's go. Hey, that's Kendrick's cousin. Like, you know how we get to be overly critical of Kendrick because he's surgical with his shit. Bro, air control is, I'm just saying for somebody that's been gone for a little minute, right? This is observation. Also, another observation. You know, we've had conversations about different acts being able to perform in different venues. I am a little shocked. And maybe I shouldn't be. Maybe where I thought he was at was just wrong on my behalf. My thoughts were maybe just grander. But you know, he's a theater guy. We are, hey, stage is too shit. It's cool. But it's packed. They rocking with it. I mean, not a fan of the set. I will say this. I've been trying to hold it in. This is something that I care about. I'm kind of glad I watched this because I'm not going. I don't like the set. Yes, that mattered to me. I won't, for my money, I won't shit. I don't like the set. He did something else, and we're gonna see it in a minute. I don't like that either. I don't like the idea of going to see somebody that does what we about to see for such an extensive amount of time. Cool.
I'm trying to hide you, delete that. By tonight, got you girl shit, don't turn me on, you gotta come. Niggas thought I fucking died, now I gotta drive, baby, Keem ain't playing no more. Just don't come alive, while you niggas fried, can't even be a fan no more. She was just trying to vibe, I'll be out the country, playing no more. She don't wanna wear her pants no more, we ain't even in the sand no more.
It is. Yeah, I see what I'm talking about. But as far as the set thing, I just got to get used to, okay, I'm gonna take maybe I gotta take my critique back. And I could be just being picky. I am picky, but I feel like the more money I spend, the more I get to ask. So maybe I'm spoiled visually because you see a Chris Brown set and you see a Kendrick sets be ridiculous. So when you see stuff like that, it's like, oh wow, that's what. But I have to take into consideration where they at, the level that they are at versus the level he is at. At the same time, and I just had this fresh thought. I just had this thought right now. And then we're gonna rock out and call it a night. I appreciate y'all sticking around. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. YouTube police, so forth, so on. Y'all know what it is. At the same time, though, we saw the clips in the venues that they were playing. Legacy act. They're a legacy act, so we're talking about a legacy act. Legacy acts are not expected to have still an incline. They just staying steady. Clips may be a different thing. Maybe they're an outlier because they gave us this. Yes, this is Let God Sort Them Out. This is a different version. Don't ask me the name because I ain't gonna remember because I just sat here and smoke with y'all. So we're not about to do that. But it was an artist, whatever the fuck. Nonetheless, it gave us a masterpiece, something amazing. So no, they said it wasn't overly complicated. It was 2 LED walls and like some lighting. But I expect maybe I expected that. Like that's exactly what I envisioned. I'm salty I missed it. I expected that level of simplicity. Man, I got bars for y'all. Y'all don't need shit else. We know what we here for. We barring up. Close the door. And clean production. Clean production. Hemp level. Urge. So maybe it's just me that need to adjust my level of expectation. Gain some. Give grace. This man did really go through Corona, which kind of stunted his launch and dealt with some personal things. Check out the Boo Man, little docs. So when your head ain't right, you deal with some things, you know. You can't be. It's hard to be creative. Just doing this show, like when I ain't mentally right, it's hard to sit here in front of y'all and just let this kick it. We just chopping it up. We kicking it. Even that's hard when your mind ain't right. But he clearly got a following. I didn't know to what degree. I knew those of us who we really looking for the next wave. I think that's the question we got to ask next is what's the next wave? It is vitally important that Baby Keem make it. Think about it. PG Lang. The first thing you put out there matter. And what Kendrick got out there right now. You got Baby Keem out there. You can't get your family right. How the fuck you gonna take care of me? That's the thought I'm thinking. If I'm a potential artist or whatever the fuck, songwriter, there might be a dope fire songwriter that just don't have the proper voice or the proper look. Like, you know what I'm saying? We should really take time to think. Like, it's a lot on Baby Keem's shoulders. Baby Keem can't flop and TDE still grow. I mean, excuse me. See, I'm tripping. PG Lang can't keep this. Unsuccessful Baby Keem changes the trajectory of PG Lang. Maybe I'm just looking at what I think he will be instead of just taking it for the years right now, but he gonna get to maybe he gonna get to the guy one day, I think. I think you can't be the God without affecting those who are not us. We could love him. We could be captivated by him. Like, them Boom Man documentaries did nothing but suck a lot of us in. Cause right now it's so hard to know what real is. I need information or I can't fuck with you. And that's the approach a lot of people take it, but a lot of things in life, and that include their music. I'm proud of him though. He getting it in. He getting it in. Who knows? I mean, because the show that's coming my way ain't for another like month. I kind of still want to go. I'm just not gonna be down there with them fools. I'm 42 years old. I ain't got time for that. Let's get to this music though. But you can't be the thing that was really working me though. I seen your prices, baby King. I seen your prices, nigga. Asking 210 from me, brother. Brother. Think about it. If I go to a Baby Keem show, and for right now, the tickets I seen for where I want to sit at, I gotta buy at least two. At 210 is 420. I want y'all to remember what y'all asking of us as y'all fans. That's for $420. On top of so we're at 455, 460 per person? Per fan. Okay, let's wipe the other ticket out. To be fair, we gonna finish this up and get out of here. $210. Plus the album. We say 30. We're gonna say 35. I think it was 38, 35. So $245 to get to the show. I don't want to be a goofy. I gotta buy something. You don't nobody go to a goddamn show and not buy nothing. So it's $60 to $80. We'll take the low end 60. We're talking about like a t-shirt. Like $50, $60. You see how I add up? It's a show, so now I still got to drink. So I'm gonna buy some beers in there or whatever. It might be some liquor, it might not be, you know. At that point, now I gotta make a night of it because hell, I mean, I'm at this point, I'm hella invested. So now we about to go get something to eat afterwards. Yes, I'm putting my food on their tab. This goes on the tab of me investing in you as a fan. If you want that level of investment where I done bought the album, I done went to the show, I done bought merch, at least one piece of merch at the show. And because, hey, we kicking it, right? Probably done bought a beer or two, a drink or two, depending on if it's offered. If you gotta eat, you gotta eat. We outside. This is probably somebody, one of a few moments for the year to splurge. So they go, man, in this instance, you about to do it in. You about to go get something to eat. That chain of investment right there is like $550, $600. Because I doubt too many fans are skipping the fucking vinyl to just go to the show. It's like tiers of fandom. And they done hit this tier, then got to the show, then hit that's another tier, bought the merch, depending on how, that's another tier. Like, I work in retail. I'm in retail management. Let me remind you, the ketchup, name brand ketchup is like $5-6 for the regular size bottle. Dollar noodles ain't really $1 no more at this point. Ain't no $3, packs. Like, you got it. It's like $3 for $1.79, $1.89. Like, come, what we doing? So I'm asking you artists to just be conscious of what you're asking of us. Sometimes, whether you realize it or not, to get that level of fandom, let's be honest. Let's have grown conversations. Some of us dip into that money that's not exactly expendable. Just be honest. I might be one of them suckers that do the same thing. Because I'm not about to pretend like I got it to that degree. To where a random... No. I have to plan my things out. But when a show pop up in your area, you're like, You know what? I'm going to do this, and this, and make this work with this, and it. Let's finish this out. Yes, sir. Baby Keem. I heard he out here doing his thing. And I've been watching the little videos. They all carry the same level of energy. Same type of crowd. Like, but appreciate y'all sticking around this long, you know what I'm saying? As far as Jay-Z, I'm gonna get back to the Jay-Z of it real quick, and then we can call it a night. I was just I want to make sure we got into the music. I didn't want to be like, oh, we on hit 2 hours and we sit here. So now I got those. I know how much time I got. I tapped into Jay-Z. You know what? Hold on. We're gonna do this on some like real nigga time. I need my post-show smoke situation. So I tapped in, right? With Jay-Z around, I could tell you the exact album that caught my interest. And then I went back into his catalog after that. This is why I wanted y'all all to tell y'all's, because y'all gonna hear mine now. My first full like album, I gotta hear this, was the Black Album. Black Album. In fact, hold on, just to make sure, I'm gonna check the date. Check the date. The Black Album was 2003. Black Album was 2003. Once I heard the Black Album, for whatever reason, I rewound and went back through everything else prior. I was not, even to this day though, I'm not an overwhelmingly reasonable doubt type motherfucker. Like, that wasn't my Jay-Z daddies. Black Album is my one. I'm gonna keep it my one on the sole strength of that was the album that introduced me to the concept of like Jay-Z being an artist. That I'm really about to listen to your whole album, because I can't speak for y'all. I only speak for me. I don't do that for everybody. I don't listen to everybody's whole album. But I listened to that whole album, and it was somebody, I was in college. Somebody put me on to it in my auto tech class or some shit like that. And I just gave it a chance, listened to it, purely on some fuck it, I ain't doing nothing else. And after that, I really got into Jay-Z. Not as some like, when I did it though, it was never on some like, this is the greatest rapper ever. I never really thought about it. MC, I never thought about the people that we will be willing to consider as MCs or whatever your definition may be. I didn't think about stuff like that until like my late late 20s. I didn't care about rankings and things like that. That's a it's a ranking thing. So I didn't think about stuff like that until like pretty much about that time in life where I'm ranking myself against my own peers. More specifically, from a work standpoint. Because I'm somebody who went about going to school to educate myself from a management standpoint. I'm a management ladder in everyday life. When you are somebody of that ilk, you have that kind of mindset to like data points and whatever, who is what, whatever. So I didn't think about who was at a top 5, top 10 until like on an individual level until like my early 30s. You gotta think about it. Back then, we had like TRL at 106 in Park. They told us what the top 10 was. We didn't have to figure this shit out. So, okay, you said it's the bet. You said it's top 10. I don't know. I like this though. This over here is smacking. Y'all ain't saying that's the top 10, but cool. We didn't question it. We just ran with it. I didn't find out about Jay-Z and the struggle he had to really garner the backing of the city. More specifically, like as far as him and Fat Joe and that whole Terror Squad unit. I never took that in as a factor or really knew that until my mid 30s. So take 84, put 30 years on it. 31, 32 years on it. No, I ain't about to do that math. So coming across this Juwan B video got me really thinking, like, hindsight being 2020, whatever. We got to call it a minute. We over by like 4 minutes, 6 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever. Were we not as critical about Jay-Z as we should have been? Did we give him like the proverbial pass because he gave us the proper imagery of, okay, yeah, he real. He gave me an image that I could picture. I could picture the things that you're saying in these songs because I lived in that environment. Bet you got it. You clearly don't need no ghetto pass. He gave us a proper depiction of the ghetto. So maybe in that time, that era, that moment, nothing else was required. He gave his paperwork was good. Or so we thought. Maybe he gave us fraudulent paper. Maybe Jay-Z gave us fraudulent paperwork. Maybe that should be the thumbnail. The title of the video. Fraudulent paperwork. It's probably going to be it because that's going to be the one I remember. I already forgot the other one. Fraudulent paperwork. We figured it out during the video what the title gonna be. Y'all let me know what y'all think though. Let me know what y'all think. Also, check out, y'all want some more music to listen to. Currency got to join out. Currency got some music out. Hold on real quick. Currency got some music out. That's what we do. That's what we do here. We talk about music. Primarily. They say that's all we talk about. Currency got some music out. And I'm about to tell y'all that there's 2 separate albums. Ruthless Records for Drop Tops Disc 1. Now that's primarily Wiz Khalifa and Currency. That's all Wiz Khalifa and Currency. It's 10 tracks. Now there's Disc 2. Currency, Wiz Khalifa, and Harry Rude. Got 8 tracks. Total 18. Right now, I'm rocking with Disc 2 more. I'm gonna spin the block back on this one. I was at work when I listened to this one. I don't think that's the environment. That's the environment for it. I was kicking it at home with this too. But check that out. You want some different music to smoke to, chill to, clean the house to, hit the to, like get some to. But that's all we got. That's all we got. I hope it's great. This is Kush Equilibrium. Appreciate y'all pulling up another after hour after the after hour. Hopefully you got it in. Got to do what you needed to. Feeling better? You offer some juice? Or you could be waking up at this part of the video where you're looking around and there's nobody there. Yeah, she snuck out, buddy. Have a good night.
Count that fucking money, man. Count the money. You gonna get yours, B. You gonna get yours, man.